Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for a live reaction Q&A for Double Game Week 32. We'll also look ahead to Game Week 33 as well. But yeah, we're going to discuss all things Blank Game Week 32, how we did. Obviously, I was on the free hit, so we'll discuss how that went. How you doing, Jordan? Obviously, Man United have just won against Brighton in 7-6 penalties. So yeah, we was all watching that game. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling very good. What a weekend of football that we've had, not just in the Premier League, but obviously in the FA Cup as well. I'm very happy that Man United went through to the finals and now face Man City and on the Man City and Manchester derby final.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that should be a good final, definitely. But yeah, I think it's June now, and it's going to be the final. But yeah, let's speak about Blank Gaming 32, how our teams have done. I'll go first. I'll bring up my team. So let's start. As you guys are aware, I was on a free hit. So yeah, I had a lot of players that wasn't blanking, so I knew I was going to play the free hit this week. I had it planned from ages, so I went with Johnston in goal, and lucky for me, it did pay off big time. So Johnston did keep a clean sheet for a lovely double-digit haul for the 10-pointer from him in that 0-0. He also made 5 saves, and he got 3 bonus points. So coming in clutch, Johnston. So I was very, very happy that he got the 10-pointer. Moving into the back line, where a bit more disappointing. We'll come onto my bench in a sec, which was where it went kind of wrong. But I played Alex Moreno. Alex Moreno did concede against Brentford in that 1-1 draw. Unfortunately, I think Tony scored. So, yeah, the clean sheet was wiped for Alex Moreno. Trippier also conceded in that crazy game, 6-1 win for Newcastle. They were 5-0 up within 21 minutes. Surprisingly, Trippier didn't get an assist, and Newcastle scored 6 goals. So that was a bit of a surprise to see that. He blanked and went off after 70 minutes when the game was pretty much done. I think you were saving him for the coming fixtures. So that was a bit unfortunate. But look, Trippier so highly owned, it wouldn't have really made a difference to my rank anyway. Let's move on to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He comes away with yet another assist. He also picked up a bonus point, which was nice, but he did concede the 2 goals, so he got the -1. I think that's now 4 assists in 3 games since Trent has moved into the inverted right back role. So he's doing very, very well in that new position. Obviously, 4 assists in the last 3 games highlights that. So yeah, I'm happy with Trent, and I want to bring him into my team soon ahead of Double Game Week 34. Moving on to the midfield, it gets slightly better here. Obviously, Saka comes away with a lovely 13-pointer. Crazy game again on the Premier League. I think no one saw that 3-3 draw coming for Arsenal and Southampton on Friday night. Arsenal looked dead and buried, and in the last 5 minutes, Odegaard and Saka both score. Obviously, Saka got a goal and an assist, and he ended up with the 3 bonus points as well. So 13-point haul for him there. And yeah, just happy that I owned him for this one. Moving on to Martinelli. Martinelli does also pick up a 9-pointer because he also scored, I think, Arsenal's first goal. And he also got 2 bonus points, I think. So yeah, 9 points from Martinelli, still very nice. Moving on to Mo Salah. Now, Salah did score. I don't think Salah had a great game overall. He wasn't at his best. He only had 1 shot on target, and that was the goal. So maybe we were a bit fortunate that he did score. It was a nice, very nice finish, but he only got the 1 goal. I was hoping for a bit more from Liverpool. I know they did score 3, but Jota's the one that gets the 2 goals, who you can see by the thumbnail. Yeah, look, I went with Gakpo as well. Should have maybe went Jota, but it's one of those. I guess maybe Jota is now an option for Double Game Week 34. But yeah, Salah only got the 1 goal, and he was my captain, so gets the 14 points. Gakpo, on the other hand, a bit frustrating. He was subbed off after about 60 minutes. I don't think that was one of Gakpo's quieter games in recent weeks. Obviously, Jota is the one that got the goals. It was a bit unfortunate. I think it was a 50-50 call, Jota Gakpo. I was pretty sure on going with Gakpo in the start of the game week, but moving forward, I think Jota maybe will be preferred now on a game week 34 team potentially. But yeah, Gakpo blanks with the 1-pointer. Moving on to the forward line, doesn't get much better really. Jesus blanks. Now Jesus is very frustrating. He should have definitely scored in that game. He had a very good chance. He missed a couple of good chances, and I think he had an XG of like 1.5 or something like that. So yeah, Jesus definitely should have scored, and obviously he comes away with the 2-pointer. I was going to go Jesus, Odegaard. Those were the options. Obviously, Odegaard scored. Jesus didn't. A bit unlucky. Obviously, Odegaard getting the goal, and maybe should have went that way. Moving on to Ivan Toney now. And he did score, which was very nice to see because a lot of managers have got rid of Toney, non-free hitters. So, yeah, Toney gets a goal and the 3 bonus points for a 9-pointer, which is saving my forward line. And then finally on to Watkins, who I was scared to go without due to his form, but he did blank against Brentford in that 1-1 draw, which was a bit of a surprise maybe, Watkins not getting anything in that match. There's other strikers out there, obviously Jota, who got 2 goals, Isak. I did have a slight inkling of going with Isak, but it was nothing serious, or I wasn't actually going to go there, but I did have a slight thought. But Isak gets 2 goals as well today, so congrats to those that went Isak or Jota even. Obviously, they done really well this game week. So, as you can see on the bench, Everson, 2 points. Eze got me 3 points. And annoyingly, I had Castagna on my bench, and Castagna went and scored in that 2-1 win for Leicester. And he ended up getting a 10-pointer, which I've benched him for that 10-pointer, which is very frustrating. I wish I played him instead of Alex Moreno now, but it is what it is. And then Gurhi also got me a clean sheet for Palace, so he got a 6-pointer. Both my 2 defenders outscored Trippier and Moreno on the bench. Very frustrating. I think I got 21 points or so on the bench, which pretty, a lot of points on the bench. But Trippier was always going to play for me, and Alex Moreno, I wanted to take a punt because he had a double-digit return in the last game week, so I thought it could be good upside. But yeah, look, Castagna, 10-pointer. Whoever did play him, fair play. So yeah, that's the free hit team out the way. It is 69 points. It is a healthy green arrow up to 316k. It was a lot higher, the green arrow. I think it was 278k until obviously Spurs game and the Newcastle game. But overall, it's still a green arrow. I'm about 4 points away from breaking into the top 300k as well. And hopefully I can get into that in the game week 33. And hopefully I'm not giving up hope on a 100k finish, but it's going to be tough. We'll see. But that's it. 69 all out for me. Let's move on to your team, Jordan, and just talk us through how your game week 32 has gone.
Okay, let's kick it off with Meslier. Obviously, I didn't expect Leeds to keep a clean sheet, but he did get 1 point for his saves. He did make 3 saves in that game, and he did get a bonus 1, surprisingly. I'm not quite sure how Meslier got a bonus 1, even though Leeds lost 2-1 to Fulham, but I imagine that game didn't go wasn't quite exciting. So yeah, it was a nice 3 points for Meslier, surprisingly, despite conceding 2 goals against him. Moving on to the defence, pretty not great defence this week. We've got Trippier, who, even though Newcastle did win 6-1, Trippier wasn't a part of any of the goals, no assists at all. And obviously there was no clean sheet for Trippier either, because Harry Kane did score frustratingly in that game. Even when Tottenham are doing horrible, Harry Kane finds a way to still score. So, yeah, a bit annoying there. But again, a lot of people own Trippier, so I suppose it doesn't really matter what points he does get. Moving on to Benby, similar to Newcastle, Brentford did concede 1 goal to Aston Villa. I'll say Aston Villa played probably the worst I've seen them underneath Emery. That's probably the worst performance that they've actually had. So it was quite a surprise. Brentford at home have looked quite great, and they'll be very annoyed that they got a draw in that game, because it looked like they were on to win that. But it was a draw for 1-1. But obviously Ben Mee's clean sheet was wiped when Aston Villa did score from Buendia's goal. Moving on to Kilman. Again, Wolves conceded 2 against Leicester and lost that game 2-1. Obviously, there's a point taken off for goals conceded for Kilman, so he only gets 1 point from that game. Next, we've got Trent, who was one of my transfers in for this week. And it did pay off, because he did get an assist, and he got a bonus 1 on top of it, even though Liverpool did concede 2 goals, and that 1 point was taken off of Trent. Liverpool still won that game 3-2, but it was a nice return again from Trent, especially in that new right back inverted position that he plays now. So yeah, it's a nice. Well, it makes up for the blanks in the other defenders. So it's nice to have one return in the defence. And now we move on to the midfield. This is probably the most thrilling, dramatic, surprising, shocking game that I watched at the weekend. But this was Arsenal and Southampton. And obviously I tripled Arsenal, Saka, Martinelli and Odegaard. And it did end 3-3. Surprising result, especially at the start. It looked like Arsenal were absolutely going to be blitzed by Southampton in that first half because Southampton were dominating Arsenal in that first half. Absolutely were making rings around them. It was unlike I've seen Southampton play the whole season, and unlike Arsenal as well. But Saka did get an assist, and he just scored late in the game as well. And he did get a bonus 3 on top of that. So it was a nice 13 points. But because I captured him, that is 26. So I did go with the right captain this week. It didn't look like Saka was actually going to get anything but an assist because he scored late on in that game. And it was like literally the last 10 minutes where Arsenal were just on the front foot. And obviously, Martinelli did score as well in that game and got the bonus 2, which gave him the 9 points. And Odegaard scored as well, and he got the 7 points from that game. So it was a nice triple return from the Arsenal assets, which I picked the right ones for that game. Moving on to the last midfielder, and this was another player I brought in to my team, and that was Eze. Unfortunately, Crystal Palace didn't score against Everton. It was 0-0. They didn't look great, if I'm honest. It was quite a boring kind of game, to be fair. It wasn't quite get going. It kept stopping and starting for both sides. And the only thing Eze did get from that game was a clean sheet, which only led him to get only 3 points from that match. But I'm glad that at least Trent scored and it made up for the -4 in a way. Moving on to the front two, we've got Watkins, who obviously has his first blank in what feels like a while. And he has been on quite a good run of returns. But yeah, in this game where the Aston Villa did draw to Brentford 1-1, only Brent Dier was the goal scorer for that game, and Watkins did blank from that. And moving on to the final player in my team, and that is Tony. He did score in that game, drawing it level with Aston Villa. And yeah, he scored the goal and got the bonus 3 from that game. Quite happy with another return from Tony. He's had a great season. I was surprised that a lot of people did sell him this week because it was one of those games where Brentford at home looked pretty good for Tony, and as he does score. And obviously, on my bench, there was no one playing on my bench, so I don't need to go through my team bench, obviously, because they're all blanks. But I did get 69 points this week, which was considerably quite good, considering I didn't free hit either, because this was a -4 as well. So after the -4, I do have 65 points at the end of my game week. So it worked out pretty well. I got a green arrow of 572k. So I am back up again in that 500k gap. And I have hit 2,006 points. So overall, considering how game week 31 went, 32 has been a much better game week.
Okay, nice. So both of us 69 points. Obviously, you did take the -4. So, green arrows for both of us. So yeah, it's a decent week. Slowly moving up. Hopefully, we can climb again for game week 33, which is quickly coming underway. I think the deadline is on Tuesday for game week 33, midweek games. So a lot of football to come this week. Also, guys, make sure you do after this stream at 8:30. I think we are going live again for the transfer tips. So it's going to be back-to-back streams after this stream. So make sure you do tune in for that. If you are enjoying the content, make sure you do smash the like button, and also make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel as well. Some comment from Ali Max. Is Jordan going to be smiling? I think obviously because of the result, Man United going through. Johnny as well, 60 points as a non-free hitter. I'll take that. Yeah, it's not too bad as a non-free hitter. Assuming you had a pretty decent team then. Let's talk about game week 33 then, and how we're lining up, and any early thoughts that we have for that week. So I'm gonna share my team with you guys. Bear with me for a sec. I've actually not thought about any moves really.
Yeah, I really need to think about the moves because I'm going to wildcard in 33 and I haven't got much time. I've got until Tuesday to sort
Yep.
this out.
Yep. Yeah, you're wildcarding, aren't you? Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'll just quickly run through what my team looks like currently. So I've got Ederson in goal, who's got Arsenal at home. I've got Kepa on the bench, who's got Brentford at home, but I'm not sure whether to play Kepa. I may play Kepa because I'm not keen on Ederson keeping a clean sheet against Arsenal. I just don't trust Ederson. He seems to concede every game. Even though Man City are in cruise control, they find a way to concede. Back three, I've got Chilwell, who's got Brentford at home. I've got Estupinian, who's got Nottingham Forest away. And I've got Trippier, who's got Everton away. I've got a double Brighton midfield of March and Mitoma. Now, as you guys can see, I have got triple Brighton in there, and they've just played 120 minutes of football. So I am slightly worried how fresh they're going to be for that game against Forest away, but we'll see. Rashford, again, he played 120 minutes as well. He's got Tottenham away. Bruno Fernandes is a worry. He was subbed off, and I've saw the some comments on Twitter afterwards. Apparently, Bruno Fernandes was taken off because he had a slight knock. He had to have ice on his shin or something like that. So, is Bruno Fernandes going to be fit for Tottenham? If he's not, he's an easy transfer out for me. So, a lot will depend on team news as well. I've got triple Brighton and double Man United, and they've just played 120 minutes of football, so it doesn't bode that well. Up front, I've got Tony, who's got Chelsea away, which could be a decent fixture for Brentford and Tony. I've also got Watkins, who's got Fulham at home, which is a decent fixture for Watkins, I think. And then finally, I've got Haaland, who's got Arsenal at home. Obviously, that big fixture in that title race that, is going to pretty much decide who wins the league, I think. And Haaland is currently my captain, and I think I'm locked on Haaland. I am not going anywhere else, I don't think. I still back Haaland, even though it's Arsenal, and I still expect him to get a couple past Arsenal. So, yeah, I'm not going to change the captaincy. I think that's pretty locked. And on the bench, I've got Kepa. I'm benching Saka as it stands, which may surprise a few, but he's got Man City away, and I think that's a tough fixture for Arsenal. I've got Botman as well, who's got Everton, and I've got Luke Shaw on the bench as well, who plays Spurs away. Now, I do have one free transfer as well, going into game week 33, and currently my thoughts is a way to find, to bring Liverpool assets in, because as you guys can see, I don't have any Liverpool players currently in my team. I want triple Liverpool or even double Liverpool by game week 34 because I want Salah. I'm pretty sure on that one. I also probably want Trent, and I also probably now want Jota if I take out Fernandes. So there's a lot of moves I can make. So I'm probably going to take a hit. I could roll, to be fair. I mean, my team doesn't look too bad. I could just play this team. Tottenham have just lost 6-1 to Newcastle, but I don't see Man United doing that to Tottenham, if I'm being honest. But Rashford and Bruno against Tottenham could be good. The Brighton guys against Nottingham Forest also look decent. So I could roll. But Liverpool do play West Ham. Now, West Ham are just coming off the back of a 4-0 win as well, so maybe that game isn't going to be easy for Liverpool. But I think I'd want at least one Liverpool asset. So I got 0.8 million in the bank, and I've also got one free transfer. So look, if Fernandes is injured, which could be the case, I'm going to probably take Saka out as well, because my current plan is to bench Saka, which isn't the wisest use of funds. So I could bring Salah in. Instead of Fernandes, I could do Grealish. And then I'm 1.6 short, so I can just downgrade Tony to someone like Greenwood. So that is a -8. Because I am trying to set my team up for double gaming 34, so I could be tempted into a -8 for Salah, Grealish into my team, and Greenwood. Obviously, Grealish has a game against Arsenal, but then after that, he's got a very nice double against Fulham and West Ham, which I probably want him for if Bruno is injured. And I'm not keen on Man United's fixtures, if I'm being honest. Man United's double, it is Villa and Brighton. and I think they are quite tricky games. I don't see many goals for Man United in those two. The good thing is with Man United, though, they have another double in game week 37 against Bournemouth and Chelsea. So they do have 2 double game weeks coming up. So Bruno still could be a good pick, but it's a wait and see on his injury situation. Do I want to take a -8? I think it could still be worth it because I'm going to want these players anyway in game week 34. The other move, probably not this week. I mean, I could do it. Probably don't want to take a -12 is Trent, but it's probably not worth it this week. Maybe bring him in for the double next week. Maybe take another -4 next week for Trent and Jota. And that's the way I'll probably go. But I'll probably need to take another hit to take out Kepa. So I won't have the budget, I don't think. Let's see how it would look. So next week, in game week 34, I'll do Jota for free. Right? I'll do Trent to Chilwell. That will be a minus. That will be a -4, wouldn't it? A Chilwell to Trent. That would not give me enough money, so I'll have to take Kepa out for Everson. So I'll have to do. There's a lot of hits potentially I'll need to take if I want the perfect team. And this is probably what I'm looking at. But I'll spread these hits over 2 weeks. So probably a -8 this week, and then a -4 next week. But yeah, that's something like what my team could look like going into that double game week 34. If not, I could just keep Bruno, instead of taking that hit on Bruno, and just keep him and forget about Jota. But that's the plan. It does require like -8, back-to-back -8s. Whether that's going to be worth it is there. We'll have to see. But for now, it looks like Salah, Grealish, Trent. Those are my priorities mainly, and a lot depends on Bruno. Because if Bruno's fit, I could be tempted to keep him. If I just reset my team, let's say Bruno is fit, I'd probably get rid of Saka for Mo Salah. Salah will have to come into my team, I think. So let's say Salah comes in. Kepa has to go, unfortunately, because I don't have enough money to do what I want to do. Everton will come in later down the line. Chilwell will go to Trent. Why does it always do this? Where's Trent? There you go. And then Watkins. I might go the Trent route, actually. The Jota route. Because this way I'm still short. I'll have to take loads of hits. Because I'll have to do Greenwood in. And I'll still be 1 million short because of my budget. So it's looking like I may have to do Bruno out for Grealish. Bruno takes up quite a lot of money, but I know Bruno hasn't done well. If you look at Bruno in his fixtures, he hasn't scored, or he hasn't got a return since game week 24. But when I watch Man United play, he's still Man United is probably their best player. Even today, I thought he was Man United's best player, but no returns. But I could be tempted to sell him off for Grealish. Anyway, that's my thoughts, quick initial thoughts. It's looking like Jota might have to come into my team, and I may be selling Bruno because the funds. I don't know if Bruno is worth that money now, the 9.6 million or whatever he is. So Bruno is on the shopping board, and especially his injury today, that makes it easier for me to sell him. Anyway, Jordan, let's bring up your team. Let's quickly make a wildcard team together and who your initial thoughts are. I know you made one sort of the other day. Just talk us through who your wildcard team is. Like, what players are you thinking about? Who are locked in for sure, and who are like 50-50s on at the moment?
Yeah, I can show you on FPL.team because I did make one. I made one earlier on just to be ready for this stream to show you guys. So here it is. This is currently my wildcard team. Let me just full screen.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
Okay, go on.
So yeah, this is how I'm lined up for obviously my wildcard. I've got Edison, who's got Arsenal at home. In defence, I've got Trippier, who's got Everton away. Shaw, who's got Tottenham away. Trent, who's got West Ham away. And the 5 in the midfield, we've got Saka, Martinelli, who have Man City away. De Bruyne, who has Arsenal at home. Mitoma, McAllister, who have Nottingham Forest away. And up front, we've got Haaland, who has Arsenal at home. And Tony, who has Chelsea away. And on the bench, we've got Mezia, who's got Leicester at home. Solanke, who's got Southampton away. Mings, who's got Fulham at home. And Kilman, who's got Crystal Palace at home. So, yeah, I got 0.3 in the bank. And that is currently my wild card going forward into, obviously, game week 34.
Okay, interesting. I see you gone with double Arsenal. Obviously, they don't have a double in game week 34. Where something like Man United do, Liverpool do. Are you not tempted with the doublers? Obviously, Arsenal don't have any more doubles left. Tougher fixtures, all City in game week 33.
Yeah, I think even though it's a tough fixture, it's just like similar to when I said the West Ham one. Arsenal must win every game now. Definitely need to win every game.
Will they win though? That's the thing.
They need to.
They've not won in the last three draws in a row now for Arsenal. Yes, they've scored in them. To be fair though, they've scored two goals and then 2 goals and then 3 goals. So they still score, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's why I've decided to hold on to them, because they are scoring. Like from this game week, I've had 3 returns from 3 Arsenal players: Odegaard, Martinelli, and Saka, and I'm quite glad I didn't get rid of at least one of them for that, because I know it would hurt my rank even more. But I think it's still essential. You still have Arsenal players, even though they have single game fixtures, as you think they're going to get points still. And I believe in this fixture against Man City away, even though it looks very doubtful for Arsenal to win it, as we've seen Man City and what they can do, and especially this being a home fixture at the Etihad, the passion for Arsenal will always drive them forward, even if the odds are against them. And I think they'll give it all they can, even if their nerves get the better of them in this game. They'll do what they can to win it and keep in front of Man City, keep hold of that title, because they've come so far now. It would be a shame come this late in the season with a few games left just to throw it all away and give it back to Man City again, which most of us probably don't want Man City to win it again. It'd be nice for Arsenal to get it after 2 decades now of not getting the Premier League trophy. But yeah, that's mainly my reason why I kept Saka, Martinelli in there, just in case. Yeah, for that, obviously, that rivalry between the Man City.
It's interesting. I mean, my tactic, obviously, I'm not going to have any Arsenal players coming after this week, I don't think. I'm probably going to sell Saka. He's my only Arsenal player I have left, I think. I don't have Martinelli. So, yeah, I plan to go without Arsenal, because I'm actually the complete opposite on Arsenal. I'll give you my theory on Arsenal. So, let's bring up their fixtures. They've got City. I don't see them winning that game. I can see them actually losing quite badly. Maybe 3-1, 3-0. I think City will win that comfortably. Then they've got Chelsea. I can see them slipping up against Chelsea as well. I can see a draw potentially in that game. Just because the way Arsenal, I feel like the pressure is now, as I said, the last 10 games, the pressure will be different for Arsenal. After that, Newcastle away, as we saw what they can do to Tottenham. I don't think that's an easy game as well. And adding the fact that there's players like Salah, there's players like Bruno that have doubles. So for me, I'd rather have a doubler than a single game player. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll probably go without Arsenal until 36. And then maybe look to bring him back in 37, 38, the last 2 game weeks of the season. Maybe take a punt on the Jesus or Saka if he's still doing well. But yeah, maybe it might be a risky strategy for me, but I don't plan on having any Arsenal players in my team for the next 3-4 game weeks. But we'll see, because they are still highly owned, aren't they? Like 40% Saka. Odegaard's like, I don't know what he's nearly 40% as well. So let us know your guys' thoughts as well in the chat. What's your thoughts on Arsenal? Are you going to be holding them? Because Johnny says benching Saka is not ideal.
No, I couldn't, even though Saka's not been that great.
I'm going to sell Saka, I think. He's just on the bench for now. But my plan probably is to go to Grealish. Obviously, Man City have a double in game week 34. So I'd rather have a Man City midfielder myself. Hey, lads, should I sell Solanke for Isak? I would be looking to bring Isak in myself, but probably in game week. Probably, I mean, the only worry with Isak is he doesn't have a double. But the single game week fixture in 33 is quite nice against Everton. That's a nice fixture. Southampton at home is a nice fixture, but then you've got players like Jota who double. You've got Haaland who doubles. So you may want a doubler. It's up to your call, your strategy. 35 is Arsenal, Leeds, Brighton, Leicester, Chelsea as well. So the fixtures aren't the greatest. It's up and down, but Newcastle are playing really well. So you'd probably back Newcastle in any home fixture. So you could do it. It's just you got to look at who you want in 34. Because obviously 34 is a big double game week, and for me, I'm going to try to have as many doublers as possible, I think. Plus, not 100% sold on Jota, but I may go for him. You're not 100% sold. I mean, the thing with Jota was that's now 4 goals in 2 games. He's not played the greatest. Like overall, his gameplay, he's not been at his best, but he is popping up with goals now, which gives him some confidence, I think. And he seems to actually be quite nailed now. I think Nunes is the one that is now on the bench, and Jota and Gakpo and Salah are the preferred front 3, and Diaz even coming off the bench. Obviously, in that double game week, when Liverpool there could be slight worry with Jota that he comes off in one of the games after 60 minutes for a Nunes, or maybe Nunes even starts. Because Liverpool play on West Ham on Wednesday, I think, and Liverpool just playing on Saturday. Will he go with Jota again? I think Nunes could get a game soon, or Diaz. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe you avoid Jota until the double game week and see what the plan is. If he gets rested against West Ham, then I'll probably be bringing him in for that double game week 34. Is going with 10 doublers okay for game week 34? Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't know how many managers will have, like how many doublers managers would have, but yeah, 10 seems okay. Cannot take punt on Arsenal mids in 37, going without them till 38. Benching Saka in 33, selling him in 34. Yeah, I think I'm going to sell Saka in 33 actually this game week, but I could. Yeah, I don't want to hold Saka for Man City. I don't think. I just think Man City are going to win that game. And then, as I said, Arsenal's fixtures. I said Arsenal's fixtures are tricky about 2 weeks ago, and they've not won a game since. And I still expect Arsenal to find it hard in games because of obviously the pressure, the title. Arsenal ain't playing. Arsenal usually they're a lot more composed, but they haven't been in certain once and the other team score. I feel like I don't know. They panic a bit. The defense isn't as good. We've seen they've conceded what 7-8 goals, about 7 goals in the last 3 games. Obviously, holding is there. There's no Saliba as well. So, yeah, I think that if you want to hold Arsenal, then attacking players is probably the way. But look, I'm going to go without them. Thinking about Martinelli. Thinking about selling Martinelli for Rashford. Yeah, Rashford has a double coming up as well in 34. Let's look at Man United again. Man United's double ain't the greatest, I don't think. Villa and Brighton. See, Villa are doing well. Brighton, as we saw today, they were a good match for Man United, if not a better team than Man United in the 120 minutes today. So that won't be an easy game for Man United. And in game week 37, Man United have another double, which is appealing, holding on to Rashford till the end of the season, or even Bruno till the end of the season now. Because if the single game week fixtures are pretty good, 2 doubles to come. But it depends how. What's your thoughts on Man United, Jordan? Like going back to your team, you've not included any Man United or one Luke Shaw, no attackers though.
No attackers because Bruno still is not quite there. Rashford, that depends if he's fit because today he kind of looked a bit leggy, especially playing that many minutes of football as well. I'm gonna have to wait on that. I think for Rashford to see if he's fit for that double.
But he could be in your wildcard draft, right? Depending on news or
maybe not. I might go without Rashford for the double if I'm thinking.
Okay.
Even if he is fit, I don't have a good feeling about that double. I mean, the 37 one, yeah, definitely include Rashford. But for the 34, double game week. I'm not sure if I want Rashford in there.
Okay, I've seen you've included De Bruyne as well. What's the thinking behind going De Bruyne on the wild card?
Well, I like the way De Bruyne and Haaland link up because anytime you see a through ball, the only person that really sees Haaland run is De Bruyne. I don't really see any other midfielder for Man City really pass the ball over to Haaland when he's about to make a run. And I've only really noticed De Bruyne do most of that for Man City. So I like the both of them together. I think them two link up pretty well with Man City. And I could see potentially maybe an assist or two come the double game week at 34th on De Bruyne. And he's not highly owned either now. He has dropped off. He's only about 25% owned as well. And Man City are pretty good fixtures come the end of the season. I mean, 4 green fixtures and then Chelsea being the last one, which is a grey, which I probably think is a green as well, being at home as well. Yeah, it's pretty. I think De Bruyne is a pretty good, decent player to go for, as not many will actually have him in their double, I believe.
I think De Bruyne is a good pick. Yeah, so I was going to say De Bruyne. I think he's actually a good pick. Obviously, I can't really get to him because I'm going with Salah instead. But yeah, De Bruyne v Salah. I mean, you could probably only fit one of them in. So going different could work out because De Bruyne has, as we saw with Man City's fixtures, are very, very nice fixtures as well. Man City are playing really well. But yeah, it could pay off that one. So we'll see how it goes in 34. One final question I have is Dalot okay to have over Shaw, or does he miss games with Shaw coming back? Plus, I can save money. Dalot. I mean, he played today, didn't he? I think Dalot will play most games. Just looking at Dalot again. When did he play 90 against Forest? He didn't play against Everton. I think Dalot could be fine. There is that worry, though, with Dalot. He could get rotated out for one of the games because Malacia can play left back as well. And I think Shaw is more nailed. If that makes sense. But look, Dalot could get you by. But I'd definitely prefer Shaw. But if you've already got Dalot, I don't know if it's worth doing a transfer of Dalot to Shaw. I don't think it's worth it. So you rather just keep Dalot and take that risk. That's probably what I think about it. But yeah. Any more comments, guys? Do drop it in the comments below. But yeah, other than that, your teams, obviously Trent I think is going to be quite popular in teams after what he's been doing recently. Mitoma March, a lot of us have him. Have you gone with McAllister? On your wild card.
I was considering going 3 Brighton midfielders. I think that might be a bit overkill. Going with March as well, so I might just go with Mitoma and McAllister.
Yeah, I mean Brighton do have some good games coming up. Obviously, the worry is again they played 120 minutes, so how fresh will they be for that double? They got Wolves and Man United in 34, and then in 36 they have another double, which is Arsenal and Newcastle, and then in 37 they have another double, which is Southampton and Man City. So they have 3 double game weeks yet to come. So you want Brighton assets for sure. It's just, how many of these minutes are they going to play? It's the same. There will be some rotation, I think, in these games. Hopefully Solly March, Mitoma, and Estupinian can play majority of these fixtures. Wow, as an owner anyway. But yeah, look, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, game week 33. Your wild carding, I could take anything from a -4 to a -8. I could even roll and get away with it, I think, if I don't want any Liverpool players who's got West Ham. Let's take a quick look at the fixtures for game week 33, sorry. It is midweek, so it is a Tuesday deadline, so make sure you guys remember that. It is a Tuesday, I think 6 o'clock deadline. So yeah, we've got 3 fixtures on Tuesday, then 4 on Wednesday, and then again, another 3 on Thursday. What's the standout? I think obviously Man City Arsenal is going to be the one everyone watches, I think. All eyes on that game. From Tuesday's games, Watkins v Fulham could be good. I think if you've got any Leicester Leeds players, I mean, not many do own those assets. That could be a weird, strange game. Could be goals in that one. Wednesday's games, I think, look all right. Obviously, Liverpool away to West Ham. We'll have to see how that one goes. See if we're bringing in Trent, Salah. Jota's highly transferred in, actually. I think he's one of the most highest transferred in players this game week so far. Chelsea at home to Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Brighton. Obviously, a lot of us have triple Brighton. How's that going to affect Brighton now? Obviously, getting knocked out of the cup. I think they should be fine, but we might see some fatigue. And then on Thursday, we've got Everton at home to Newcastle. You probably expect a comfy Newcastle win. If you've got Isak, it looks great for that fixture. Even someone like Joe Linton, obviously after what they did today. Southampton and Bournemouth, not really interesting, I would say. And then Spurs Man United could be a very nice game to watch as well. You just don't know what you're going to get with Spurs. Harry Kane still scores, yet a poor performance from Spurs overall. Man United obviously just beating Brighton on penalties. They'll want to come back strong, obviously cement that top four as well. So some good fixtures in game week 33. I'm looking forward to it. It is a midweek fixtures, and should be a good game week. What do you make of the fixtures anyway? You expecting like a high scoring one, or how do you think it'll go?
I think definitely the Arsenal Man City one. I can see that being high scoring and pretty crazy game on both sides. So that definitely will be probably the most watched fixture in this game week. For other fixtures, though, I think Aston Villa could have a good game at home against Fulham. They do struggle now without Mitrovic being in the team, Fulham. So the goals have sort of dried up for them. But for Aston Villa, coming off a draw, they might want to bounce back at home against them, especially Wally Watkins having a blank. For other fixtures, I mean, West Ham could give a good game for Liverpool. I mean, they did have a massive win today.
Yep.
Against
4-0 as well.
Yeah, it was a massive win against Bournemouth. So there could be an upset there for West Ham at home, who do want to get out of that, obviously, that relegation battle.
They're up 13th now, I think. So they're pretty safe, pretty much, with that win. I think they are 13th, West Ham, climbing up now.
They want to keep that up and keep out that relegation zone. But for other matches, I mean, Man United Spurs, you don't know what you're going to get from that game. Obviously, we want to keep on top of Spurs. They made it easy now. Newcastle win against them, so it's going to be a pretty good fight.
Yeah, I think top four is pretty set now. I expect Man United to get third. I do expect Newcastle now to get fourth, especially after the way they won today against Spurs, who are probably the nearest challengers. I expect Brighton to slightly fall off. Liverpool still... I think Liverpool could go on a run, but I think they've left it too late. There's only a few games to go, and I don't see it catching them up now. I think Liverpool have left it too late now. But other than that, Chelsea is still, mid-table. So, we'll see. I expect Man United and Newcastle to get it now. But, still a few game weeks to go. So, hopefully, we get a good end to the season. And that big one, Man City, Arsenal, I'm excited to watch that one as a neutral. I think it's going to be a good game. But, look, that's it from... the live knee-jerk reaction. I think we're probably going to wrap it up, but make sure you do tune in. We are going live again at 8:30 for a transfer tips video. Because it's such a quick turnaround, we usually do the transfer tips video on Tuesday, but because the deadline streams on Tuesday, we've had to move the stream to today. So we are going live again straight after this stream. So make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell. We're going live literally again in 15 minutes time. So that's what we guys, putting out content for you guys. We do appreciate it. Make sure you do smash the like button. And I think we are going to wrap it up here. Anything else you want to add, Jordan, before we do head out?
I think that's pretty much everything covered. I mean, for this game week, it's been pretty good. Hopefully everyone else had a good game week, wherever your plans were, if you're free hitting or taking hits and whatnot. But green arrow wise, hopefully everyone had a green arrow, not a red one.
Yep. But that's it from us. Again, we're back in about 15 minutes. So make sure you stay plugged in. And see you in a bit. Take care and see you soon.